Hi everybody, welcome back to another episode of the Think Tank Guys 52 Ways to Put Your Policy to Work project. It's Brian here, one half of the Think Tank Guys, and I got a quick one for you, just with a couple things for you to think about. As we're trying to build our wealth, as we're using our policy strategically, as we're looking at building our investments, I just want you to wrap your head around the fact that we can, and many of you already do this, we can actually use our investments to build our policy out. And what I mean by that is, for the most part, let's just have a conversation about investing for a second. For the most part, we're investing for two reasons. We're either investing for growth, write things out here for us for a second, or we're investing for cash flow. It's pretty much the two major type of philosophies around what people invest for, what we invest for. And I guess cash flow speaks for itself. But on the growth side, what I wanted to kind of do is speak to that for a second and say growth really comes from one of two areas, maybe both at the same time, but maybe they're separate as well. One area is appreciation. The other area is interest. And you guys know by now our policies actually credit interest, and they appreciate and grow because of interest. But appreciation by itself typically comes from market value. And I think what's really important for us to recognize is that market value can increase over time, but market value can also actually decrease. And if we understand investing and we know what's going to happen and we have maybe cash flow coming from an investment, it's okay if the market value goes down. But if all we're doing is hoping for appreciation, I'm kind of speaking to the mutual fund market right now. Buying, the only way you can buy something is you buy it at market value and you hope for appreciation. If all we're doing is hoping for appreciation, we're really positioning ourselves for some challenging investments and challenging investing experience. Whereas if we have interest, well, I'm not going to compare it directly to appreciation because you might be able to get more appreciation than interest. But at least in our policies, with the interest we earn, it only goes up. Once it's credited to us, we can't lose it. Once it's credited to us, it becomes a part of the guaranteed cash value. And since we're not earning that interest anywhere else, banks are hardly doing it. And, that one bank I talked about in the 52 Ways Project video a couple weeks back, that might be crediting some interest now. And hey, maybe interest rates will turn around, but we're always going to see our policies crediting more interest than the banks do at any given time. And the key is that we can't lose it. You don't see a red arrow over here, right? So when we think about using our investments to build our policy, we want to be thinking, we can think, it's not just cash flow. We talk about, or Eric and I have both talked about, using investments that cash flow to send back to our policy and catch the cash there. But it's not just that. I mean, that works really well. But on the growth side, we can actually either take the market appreciation, which I'm going to talk to you about in a second here, and cycle it back through our policy to have it build that for us as well. So let's just have a quick conversation about the flow of cash. So if we have cash typically sitting in a bank and we want to move it into an investment, right? This is the direction the cash usually moves. We move it into the investment, and then if the investment is profitable, if we're making investment decisions to peel some money off the table once we've earned it, if we have kind of rules for ourselves, or if it's cash flowing, if we don't have a better place to put it, we put that money back in the bank. So if I kind of expand the conversation to say, what if we have cash and then we invest? There's the investment. And then what if we have our policy over here that has a cash value, it has a death benefit, it has the tax attributes, tax preferences, tax plus, I'm just kind of putting it on there. It has the leverage, the liquidity, all that stuff, right? We basically can then start we can put our cash to work. As the investment makes money, rather than sending it back into the bucket of cash that's not doing anything, we have a place to cycle and catch some of that cash in a productive environment in the policy knowing we can turn right around and leverage that money back into investments. And it's actually over here where we're starting to put our money to work in this space as well as this space. And it's doing multiple jobs right here while it's working hard for us in two different areas. So, kind of to share a couple quick examples. I'm going to say examples of what you can. You've seen some of these in our videos. Rental real estate. Rental real estate. That's a real good one. Fix and flips. Fix and flip. Options. I'm going to actually say, well, yeah, I would say options. I have a lot of clients that end up using options in the stock market. And when they're profitable, they make decisions about pulling some money off the table and cycling that money back into a place where it has the guarantees and dependability of the policies. Private lending. It could be family lending. It could be lending on real estate. It could be being the banker for the family, right? What are some other things here? Notes and mortgages. Incredible space to make some money. Individual stocks. There you're hoping for appreciation. Now you can work on the dividend piece for cash flow, but you're hoping on appreciation. But if you have rules for yourself and you want to peel off some gains as you make rules, you have a better place to place those gains inside the policy. Investing for royalties. That's cash flow back. Investing in a business. Busyness. Investing in a business is a great place to build wealth, generate cash flow, and then catch the cash flow back in the policy. So again, if you think about this, you have money that flows into any of these worlds, right? And then on the back end, as those areas are profitable, we can place that money inside of our policy to make sure it's working in more than one place. So any questions about this, or if you want to kind of just talk to Eric or I about the type of investments you're currently investing in and how they can build your policy, if you want to talk about it, making sure you're making those investments in a place where you can cycle it into your policy, because now we'll start to get into the strategy of having money inside qualified plans as well as outside of qualified plans. Talk to Eric and I, and we'll help you position your investments to build your policy for you. Until next time, you guys stay prosperous.